Okay, we're back with another Q&A video, a favorite among viewers. And for you readers out there, earlier today, I just posted the new blog. So go check it out at sitdownnews.com. And I want to give a big thank you to you viewers who posted questions for this video. Let's begin. How would you introduce a member of the Ndrangheta to a friend? As a friend, or that he's from a family in Calabria, or something different? Let me start by saying, not everyone knows the word friend in the context that you're using it. A friend is an inducted member. I personally never introduced a member of the Ndrangheta, and I never would. You can't introduce a member to a non-member. Members from Italy are not part of American Cosa Nostra. You have to always keep that in mind. Did you ever go to school with kids whose dads were in that life? Would you care to mention their names? The answer is yes, I did, and I'd rather not mention their names. Many people live lives outside of who their father was and what he did. What laws police the state of Italy from seizing all of one's assets by calling all of it criminal? Does the state have to distinguish legit from illegal means of income? That determination is made after conducting investigations that link the possessions of the assets to any criminal activity. If the investigation proves positive, the assets are confiscated. Italian authorities just can't seize property, etc., because they say it's criminally owned. They have to prove it. Do you have any knowledge of who is the new boss of the patriarchal family? I honestly don't know. And I'm unfamiliar to what's happening in New England. Who do you think will get the Lucchese's Christmas envelope this year, Vic or Mike? Also, do shelf members have to give an envelope? And did you make your associates give you an envelope every year? To start with, it's not a singular Christmas envelope. And what's collected will go to the Lucchese administration. And if they decide to give Vic a cut, as they have been doing for years, that's on them. Shelf members do not have to hand in an envelope unless they're instructed to do so, or they voluntarily hand one in. The only associate of mine who ever gave me an envelope was Pete Bartolomeo, and he did so on his own. I never asked any of my associates to hand me anything at Christmas time. What were the small things that could be taken as disrespect? I remember you told the story when a captain didn't get greeted correctly and it became an issue. Basically, anything in that life can be made into an issue. I've seen legitimate grievances to petty bullshit, and most of it is petty. One time, Joe Perna told me that Matty didn't look too good in his prison mugshot. And while at the club up in the Bronx one day, I mentioned it to one of the captains, Richie DeLuca, and he went and made a big deal out of it that Perna was talking about Matty in a bad way, which really wasn't the truth. He was just saying that Matty didn't look too good. The lesson I learned was not to talk to Richie DeLuca about anything that can be twisted. That's the politics of that life, and Richie was a politician. It's axiomatic that no man can serve two masters. How do modern Italian mafiosi justify also being Freemasons? Wouldn't this necessarily weaken their loyalty to the Mafia? No, not necessarily. Obviously, their true loyalty is given to Cosa Nostra first. By being Freemasons, it gives them more influence and power through networking and making connections. So I guess for them, it's a win-win. Do you know Bonanno member Joseph Corrado? I never met him. He's a Sicilian member that was linked to the Giannini crew and was released from federal prison in 1999 after being charged with the Giannini crew in a racketeering case in 1995. Did you ever meet or have any dealings with Gambino old-timer Lou Valerio? No, I never met him or had any dealings with him. How and when would you ever discuss business? Would you have to go for a walk in the park, or is that not safe for surveillance? Look, I'm not going to get into every precaution that I took, but the most important way to conduct business, at least it was for me, was without my cell phone near me, as well as the person or people that I was speaking with, and made sure they didn't have theirs either. Have you ever come across any Jewish mobsters in your time? Do they still exist? During my time, no. But I'm sure there's Jewish criminals that are out there. As far as what rackets they're involved in, I really wouldn't know. When you were involved in the Range Rover scam, did they pretty much buy the car for you and then ship it? Yes, they would purchase or pay off the remaining note on the car and then ship it overseas. I'm not really sure what they did with the leases, but most likely the same. Purchased the car so that they were able to ship it. Here are some questions outside of YouTube. What do you think the administrations of families are doing about FBI moles working on the inside of their families? It's a fact that each family has FBI sources and confidential informants. I would assume that they're keeping serious conversations only between a core group of people. The problem with that is a family or two has infiltration at the highest levels. So not a great deal goes unknown to the FBI. What do you think the mind frame is of the guys getting out after 10, 15, 20 years or so and returning to their crime families? Do you think they're shaking their heads at the newly inducted members? Well, I'm sure they are. And they'll quickly realize how much things have changed. But they've had visits throughout the years, so I'm sure they heard. But hearing and seeing are two different things. What's going on now in that life can make a guy want to keep as much distance as he possibly can. Someone wants to know if the books should be closed. The books, for those of you who aren't aware, offer the names of newly inducted members. My answer, I guess, is yes, they should close them. They did it in the late 1950s up until the mid 1970s. Who knows? If you haven't liked this video yet, please take the time now and give it a like, as it helps with YouTube's algorithm. Anyone who'd like to show their appreciation for videos like this, or more importantly, help me to continue making them, you can donate with the Super Thanks icon down below, or through the PayPal Cash App links in the video's description. Let me quickly mention my blog, also called Sit Down News, especially for those of you who still enjoy reading. The site can be found at sitdownnews.com and is a paid subscription. I'll end this with another display of the mentality of the haters. Here's a comment I received the other day. And let me just add, this fraudulent account was just created because that's what real men do. Think about what this guy's wife or girl must think of him, who goes about life creating fake YouTube accounts to leave messages that he would never have the balls to say in person. So I'll put it this way. I'm presently living in Queens, New York. You want to impress me? Approach me whenever and wherever you see me and speak exactly that same way.